Hey guys, this is the last recorded lesson that I'm going to give you this semester because our last class next week is going to be a Zoom class, and I'm really excited about that. But I'm going to keep this brief. I want to talk to you about two techniques for successful persuasion. So we know that one of the ways in which we can help open people's minds to our perspective. And again, we can never force people to think something or to believe something. The best we can do is present our beliefs in a very reasoned, a logical way that moves others. And one of the techniques that we can use is using data, right? Logos. So we use numbers or statistics, but we've all probably been in a situation in which we experienced a data dump where there were so many numbers coming at us, a paragraph full of numbers that we skim over it, our eyes glaze over, and we move on. And it doesn't impact us, right? Numbers don't move us. They can influence us. But an approach that we can use to make those numbers more relatable is modeled in the testimony that you watched, the example that you saw. So the speaker very successfully takes the amount of money that someone earns on minimum wage and compares it to the congressional budget for office furniture. And that really puts into perspective how little it is. And that is a very powerful technique that you can use, taking data and comparing it so that your audience can relate to the numbers. I've seen this technique used to demonstrate the likelihood of somebody winning the lottery. So the lottery is required by law to state the odds of winning because they are so small, 1 in however many million. But if you take that and you make it visual, you say your odds of winning are equal to, if you took the tickets and you stacked them all the way from the Earth to the moon, and then you drew 1 from that entire stack. Well, it shows you the likelihood. It gives you a visual sense where you think, oh, well, I'm not going to win. I mean, it's almost impossible to win. Of course, somebody will, but the likelihood of it being me isn't worth my money, right? Quit it. So that's a technique that we can use. You can also do it with regard to size. You could say, if the number of people who suffer from your problem, so-and-so million or so-and-so thousand, think of a group that is equal to that. So it's hard for me to relate to, let's say, 30,000 people. I don't know how many that is, but if you told me that would be like the entire Coliseum in Richmond dying every year, well, that would be shocking. Or if you told me that the number of people who suffer from your problem every year is equal to the size of the freshman class. Or, this is a powerful statistic, take it and make it a relative number. So instead of the full number, this many millions of Americans, you would say 1 in 3. Well, that makes it very relatable, right? So taking your data and finding a way to make it relatable is a technique that we're going to practice and demonstrate in your final essay. That's one of the things that's on the checklist, which you're actually getting as daily practice today. So I want you to think about how you could do that. One more quick example, which is you can make it visible in terms of size. So if you're talking about the amount of pollution that goes into the river, for example, you could put it in a number of tons, or you could make it a size that we could relate to. I once was writing about coal mining, and coal strip mining is done, or surface mining is done with a tool called a drag line. And the bucket on the drag line holds however many tons of soil with each bite. Well, how many of us can really visualize a ton? Well, that bucket is so big that 2 full-size school buses can park side by side inside of it and still have room for you to walk next to it, right? So instantly you're like, oh, it's that big, right? So if you have data that is 3-dimensional, you can make it relative to something we can relate to, or if it's in terms of the population, you can do the same, or you can make it a ratio. If it's 75%, well, that's if you're there with 4 friends, 3 of you are going to suffer from it, okay? Okay, great. I'm sorry my dogs have chosen this moment to have some sort of epic battle over here, but I'm really proud of all the work that you're doing. If you have any questions about anything that we're doing, please do not suffer in silence. Reach out, and I will be sending you over the weekend. You'll be getting the checklist for your daily practice. You'll be getting your instructions for how to submit the essay next week. You'll be getting those. You'll also be getting instructions for how to do our Zoom meeting, and hope you have a great day.